This is the plaintiff, Doris Johnson. She says she laid out money for a computer and tablet for a member of her church, and the defendant refuses to pay her back. The defendant thinks she's trying to steal from him or some crazy thing like that. She just wants her money and is sorry to have to bring this to court, but what's right is right. She's suing for $629.98, the amount owed. This is the defendant, Vernon Cash. He says he gave the plaintiff a check for the computer and tablet, and the plaintiff's claiming she lost the check. Now she wants him to pay her a second time when he already paid her? He doesn't believe she lost the check, and he's not paying twice and owes this woman nothing. He's accused of perturbing his pastor.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff paid for a computer and tablet, but the church member she was buying it from stiffed her. Now, the defendant says he wrote a check to the plaintiff, and she claims she lost it so tough. It's the case of bless her heart.
Thank you, Douglas. Doris Johnson, you are suing Vernon Cash for $629.98 that you say he owes you for some purchases that you fronted for him. Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, after doing a funeral at a gravesite that morning, he asked me a day before if I would take him to BJ's Costco one to get a computer. To
BJ's Wholesalers?
Yes.
Okay.
So after the funeral,
but how did you know him?
Mr. Cash goes on my bus trips. Every year I give a bus trip because I have a food pantry, and I give a bus trip every year to help supplement the food.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a pastor.
You're a pastor. Okay, so you knew him, and then he asked you, there was an item he wanted to buy, but he wasn't a member or something, so he needed you to go with him and bring him there?
Yes, he wanted a tablet and a computer, and I agreed to take him.
Okay.
To help him out, Mr. Vernon.
Because it's cheaper there than somewhere else, but you have to be a member.
Yes.
Quote unquote. And he's not a member. You have to be paying yearly dues. And he's not, so you were taking him there as a favor. So what happens when you get there?
When we get there, he picks out the tablet and the computer that he wants, and he gave me his checkbook, told me to write out how much it is, and add $25 for me taking him there. So as we was going to pick up the product, Mr. Cash got lost in the store. I don't know where he went, and I'm running around the store trying to find him. I got kind of nervous, and I went to the man and had the man to call his name on the loudspeaker to find out where he is.
Had you paid for the items yet?
Yes.
Wait, you went back in the store after paying for the item?
No, we paid for when I paid for the item, we had to go to another section to pick up the items.
Okay.
And why?
So you paid first, then you went to the other section to pick up the item.
Right.
All right. Now, when the register receipt comes up, you use your credit card or debit card?
Yes, I use my debit card.
May I see? Do you have the receipt or no?
Yes.
Okay. And then you tell him this is how much it costs, and he writes out a check?
Yes.
Okay, but then you have to walk to another area because it's electronics, and they're more careful about that. And then that's when you pick up the item.
Right.
Okay, so go on.
And
then you
when
can't find him.
When I get to the place to pick up the item, I didn't see Mr. Cash.
Okay.
So I started walking all over the store looking for him. Couldn't find him. So I went to one of the workers there and I asked him to page him. So he came over to where we was at.
Right.
And in the midst of that, I lost the check.
How did you lose the check?
Because I had other things in my hand. I had my cell phone. I mean, I had my cell phone and the card. Thank God, I don't know what the card.
Did you have a purse?
Yeah, I had a purse.
So why didn't you put your cell phone, the card, and the check, and everything back in the purse?
I just didn't do it that day.
I'm trying to get my husband to start bringing a purse along because I am a little sick and tired of having his car keys, his pass, his constantly his wallet, his badge. Everything is always lost. Like, honestly, that's what the purse is for. So when do you notice that you lost the check?
The next day.
Okay, when you open your purse and start looking for it, you can't find it.
Right.
All right. And then what happens? Do you contact him and say, hey, listen, I can't find the check?
Yes, I called Mr. Cash. I said, Mr. Cash, I can't find the check. I must have lost the check. I said, could you give me another check? And Mr. Cash, I never seen his attitude the way he was that morning. I'm getting ready to go now, so while here's where to pick me up, I'm leaving out now. And yeah, I like taking the check, and I really was shocked. I was hurt. I was more hurt than anything else.
What was he saying to you that morning?
Well, how you lost the check? Because I saw you put the check here, and I saw you put it there. I don't know. And I said, but Mr. Cash, I done looked all over my bag. I done looked in my bag. I don't know where I had to lose a check.
Okay.
So he just left out, and I kept trying to call him, and he never would answer the phone.
He never would answer the phone?
No. So
okay.
I was in the vicinity, and Gail, she was with me the whole time. She was with me when we did the transaction. She said, let's go by his house. I didn't want to. I said, okay. And she went and told Mr.
Come
Cash
on up, Gail.
She told Mr. Cash that I was outside. I'd like to speak with him.
So what was the conversation between you and Mr. Cash?
I knocked on his door. He came to the door, and he said to me, I said, the pastor wanted to, speak to you, talk to you. We were trying to call you. He was like, no, I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want to see her. So I said, okay, thank you, and I backed up, and I went and I told the pastor.
Okay, Mr. Cash.
Yes.
You're here because, according to them, you're not very forthcoming with the cash. You got a computer. You got what else? A tablet.
Yes.
You paid for it with a check. No one doubts that. But then the check was lost, which means that the money didn't come out of your account. No. Did it? Right. So then what's going on is you got a free tablet and computer on the pastor.
No, ma'am.
Of course. If the money didn't come out of your account, you owe the money. Why are you not paying the money?
I couldn't hear, I don't know why, but I couldn't hardly hear what she was saying. But I heard part of what she was saying. That's not true.
Okay.
When we first went to BJ's, she didn't have to look for me. She never
I don't care if she had to look for you. You went to BJ's,
yes.
right? You bought a tablet and a computer, and she paid for it, right? And then you wrote her a check.
No.
Didn't you write her a check?
Yes, but
okay.
I wrote the check before she paid for it.
Okay, either way. So you wrote her a check, so everything's great at that moment. But then she loses the check.
How?
I don't care how. Let's say she ate the check. She was hungry. There were no more samples at BJ's. I've made quite a few meals out of samples at Costco's. And she ate the check. Let's say she did that. Have you paid for your tablet and your computer? Was that check ever cashed? Did you check? No. Exactly. So this is why God made stop payments. For moments like this when someone loses a check. Why don't you just stop payment on the check she lost? And if your bank charges you $25 or $10, whatever they charge you, you take it out of the next check, but then you write her a check so she's not out the whole money. Why would you tell a pastor, no less, oh, too bad for you. You lost a check? Tough. No, what is the reason that you wouldn't write a second check?
So if you write a check to somebody and they lose the check, do you still owe them the money, or can you say, hey, tough luck, I already gave you a chance?
You still owe the money.
But the other person lost the check, right?
Cancel the check.
Well, the check's done. But if I give you a check and you lose it, isn't tough luck for you, or do I have to pay you again? Do I have to pay you still?
You still have to pay.
Why?
It was already a check written, so...
I can't say tough luck.
No.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
When I decided what laptop I wanted, we were at the display, and the clerk is about where you are, a little bit further back. I gave her the check. I've given her the check.
Yeah, I know, and she lost it. Okay.
But I'm with her. And
if you had given her cash and she lost it, tough for her. But it's a check. It has a remedy.
But she never told me she lost it.
She told you she lost the check the next day.
No, she did not.
The next day.
Yes.
Okay, well, she doesn't know she lost it until the next day. What's the big suspicion with that? In fact, in your answer to the complaint, I'm going to read this word for word because I don't want to get it wrong. In your answer to the complaint, you say, I used to do government investigations and I was a little suspicious of the plaintiff, so I didn't want to cancel anything. How does that make any sense?
I didn't want to cancel it because I saw no reason for her to lose it. And she never told me that she lost it.
Mr. Cash, she told you the next day that she lost it.
Yes, the next day.
Right. So why don't you do what every other human on the planet does when that happens? Stop payment on the check, deduct any cost to you for a stop payment, and pay her the rest of it. Why wouldn't you just do that?
But she said she couldn't find the check on Friday.
Right, she couldn't find it. But by the way, this happened how long ago? April. Nobody's cashed that check, right? So it's lost. So what? Do you know what a stop payment is? Do you know what a stop payment is?
No, ma'am. I never had to stop a check before.
Okay, but you know what it is.
I've heard of it, but I never.
Right. Okay. So why wouldn't you just do that if she lost the check?
But she know when I was in BJ's.
She didn't know she lost it at BJ's. How many times are we going to go over that? She didn't know she lost it until the next day when she opened her purse to go cash it, and she says, "Oh my gosh, where is this? Where is this?" There's a remedy for that. And call. Otherwise, it's just you trying to get free stuff from someone who's doing you a favor.
No, ma'am. I did not.
You know what? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to order you to pay her the $629.98 because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. I don't care about that, ma'am. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know that she had lost the checks until the next day. Next day.
Mr. Cash, there's no reasoning with you.
So the problem was...
We're done. Stop talking because there's nothing you're going to say that's going to change this.
Yeah, ma'am.
Stop. You got a tablet, you got a computer.
Yes.
She lost the check.
Yes.
And what you're supposed to do when someone either loses a check or the check is in the mail, it doesn't get to them.
It's okay,
when
ma'am.
it's a check, everybody can be protected. All you have to do... I don't know how you could do government investigations and then think there's something wrong with stopping payment on the check. All you had to do was stop payment on the check. Your bank charges you $20 to do that. Okay, you take the $20 out of what the check was and you give her another check. Why would you tell that lady who comes to your door, I don't want to hear from anybody. I'm not going to. Now the pastor's on her own. Like, why would you do that?
Because
$629.98 verdict for the plaintiff.
Yes,
oh, wait, wasn't it more than that? Wasn't it another 25?
Yes.
Yeah, and another 25.
Yes.
And your court costs.
Thank you.
It's okay.
So the plaintiff prevails. Vernon Cash, the defendant's on his way out of the courtroom. Mr. Cash, if you'll step over here, sir, the judge really sucked it to you. You got to pay.